Would be what's wrong with facing voters? What's wrong with taking questions? What's wrong with being transparent and open? What's wrong with having the courage and allowing yourself to not just be put on the spot, but to be measured up against other candidates? What's wrong with transparency? But beyond that, I want to make the point, because when it came to this concept of being out and talking to voters all across our state, and we, the three of us have been here, we've been in Saginaw and Jackson and Kent County, and all candidates were invited. You know, I saw a report in the news that the Attorney General's representative said that he wasn't getting invited. He has been invited to every single one of them. And so this notion that this is somehow a political gimmick, it's not. We're just going out and talking to voters. And the regular process is carried out. You know, nobody is owed an election. It's nobody's turn to be governor. That is not how it works in our country and here in our state. And so I think primarily that's a big question. But I don't blame them for not wanting to be here. There's really big questions that people want answered. Things like, you know, why are you putting taxpayer-funded staff in your political staff in your office? The Free Press did really an outstanding expose on the abuses within that office. I think maybe if I had that, I wouldn't want to stand here and face these questions. Or how about what about conflicts of interest at Michigan State? And what is being done to wall off those conflicts of interest? As far as I can tell, nothing. And maybe that's the reason why he doesn't want to be here. But ultimately, it is important. If we expect to win in November, and you can't even face tough questions from Republicans at this point, then I think the big question on everybody's mind is he up for the task?
All right, thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Senator Colbeck.
Thank you very much. I think the key thing is to start asking him questions about what are your solutions. I think right now what he's hoping to do is just take a large bankroll and throw a whole bunch of slick TV ads out at the end with a bunch of sound bites that have been focus grouped and tested in marketing analyses, and then assume that we're all going to you know, clap at the wonderful prose that he's putting on these little bullet points. I think what's beautiful about what we're doing here right now with Dr. Hines and Lieutenant Governor is that we're talking about solutions. And as an engineer, I think that's what I like to talk about more than anything else. And it is something that he's missing out on the discussion for right now. And you're going to hear a lot from me during this campaign about the concept of principled solutions. I'd love to see what the Attorney General's principled solutions are. What are the principles that guide him? And we're here to talk about those principles. And I want to talk about principled solutions to healthcare. I want to talk about principled solutions to fixing our roads, not just throw money at them. I want to talk about principled solutions to education, where we get the federal government and the state government out of the middle of teachers and parents and educators and students. I want to talk about principled solutions. And that's why all of you are here, right? You're here to hear about solutions, not platitudes. You're not here to hear sound bites. You're here to hear real solutions, and that's what you're hearing from us. And obviously, as an engineer, it's what I've been doing for the last 7 years in the state legislature. Whenever we have bad policy proposals that are put out there, I come back with an alternative that actually is based on your best interests, not the special interests up in Lansing. And those are what I call principled solutions. That's what we need to be talking about.
All right, thank you, Senator Colbeck.